So let's see. Hello, hello. Some folks are jumping on. It's almost the end of the first month of 2021, and I wanted to jump on to my biz page, Educational Access Serving Youth. This is Dr. Steph here, and just wanted to share a couple of things that I had been thinking about this week after speaking with a couple of moms of teenagers and young adults. And it clicked that it felt like that old TV show, and I think it's been a couple of years since it's been on, Survivor. And I don't know if anyone out there ever watched Survivor. I did the first couple of seasons, and but I think they had like 20 seasons. And I actually had a person I used to work with that she was a Survivor fanatic. She can tell you every person that was on the show, who won every season, all of that. And it made me think about how parents, and I'm a parent of two students in college, so I know what that feels like, when you're trying to support them, but yet encouraging them to be independent. And I felt like I was in that TV show, Survivor. And that's what other parents have felt like, where the premise of the show is you use your wits and your strength and your know-how to work through all these different challenges, creating alliances, and you still have to provide food and shelter for yourself, but there still has to be one winner at the end. And we know that we want our students to succeed and to win, but especially during this time in this pandemic, it has been really tough. And so for parents, wanted to jump on and encourage you, because I know it kind of feels like we're going through all these different obstacles like you would in the Survivor show. Do you feel like, you have students, and even some of the younger ones, even though I'm geared more towards middle school, teens, young adult students, we have some very mature elementary school children that have a very in, they have this intuition that I don't think I had at their age, where they know a lot of what's going on. They may not fully understand it, but they know something really isn't right or something is different. And so this whole time is creating um, not just anxiety in them, but confusion in them not knowing what the future holds. And we know that we don't have that 100% wrapped up, but being forced to stay inside, limiting the things that you do, especially for our students not having that social interaction with each other because they're quarantined at home, um, there's that extra struggle. So some of them are losing the motivation to even think about what they want to do next year or when they graduate, or even think about, well, is it worth it, thinking about what type of career that I want to have, because I don't know if that job or that career is even going to exist. And so it's up to us to kind of help them work through those challenges. And I thought about, like I said, going back to that Survivor series where there was one challenge called a numbers game, and they had to run across this balance beam. So for those who, I used to do gymnastics, that was not easy to do. Even just standing on the balance beam, but they had to run across this balance beam, get these bags that were filled with these number tiles. They had to get to one side, pick up these bags, then run back to the other side, and then they had to put them in order. And sometimes as parents, that's what we're juggling, how to balance school, virtual versus physically sending them to school. Um, One other thing that I thought about was, they're still juggling their friends, and those relationships, and what relationships are real and what relationships are fake. So that's all going on that balance beam. And then even their options, their career options. And I thought about dreams versus fantasy. And I don't say dreams versus reality because we still want them to pursue the dreams that they have. We don't want to squash the dreams, even if we may not understand them or even know where they're going to end up. There have been studies that have shown, and some of you may have seen it, that many of the careers that even down to our elementary school students have or will have don't even exist yet. So we have this whole next generation that will be not only creating some phenomenal careers that we hadn't even thought of, but they may be transitioning some things. I know my parents' generation, grandparents' generation, you started at one job, you worked that job all the way through to retirement, and that was it. And for even many of us who were here, on this live or watching the recording later, we've already shifted a couple of times. Many of us are not even at the first job we started at. I know I'm not. I'm at probably the fifth or sixth one. Now they're all still in the education field, but they've shifted in what my responsibilities have been, but the purpose has always still been the same, which is to provide access to educational resources for young people. And I think that's what we need to encourage is for our young people to find their passion and find their purpose no matter what they do. They can start out in engineering and end up in nonprofit. They can start out in medical. How many have we seen where doctors have transitioned over, to politics? They become mayors and governors and senators. You can start out on Wall Street. We've had people start out in the corporate world, got burnt out. They started a restaurant. We have artists who are doing photography and digital design, and I mean it's endless to what they can do. But I think we really need to encourage them to find their passion and their purpose. So just wanted to jump on, say, hey, I'm still drinking my coffee well, I'll say this afternoon now, because again, on the East Coast it's already noon. But if you're watching it a different time zone, it is still morning time. But always just wanted to drop in, show my face, say hello. Thank you for those who follow. I have some more great things to come, but I just wanted to start connecting because you have taken the time to follow me and follow this page. And there have been many that have shared resources that I have thrown out there. And that's really what I want to do. Educational access serving youth is about providing educational access to our young people, but also to provide support to our parents. So spread the word. There will be more great things to come. I have a revamped website that I'll be sharing, and then also launching what's called Easy Motivations. So that will be digital products, classes, and merchandise that will uplift and encourage you to be unconventionally you. So thanks for those who dropped on in. I appreciate your time and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.